More limited access to bikers in Mission. No trespassing signs are going up at the edges of the Mission Bike Trail. Channel 5's Christian Von Pricing explains the new problems with liabilities and what's going on.
The Mission Bike Trail is kind of in a unique spot because it's not just city-owned property. There is a private property owner that owns a large portion of the area that people are riding on. Not to mention, there's also a shooting range right next door. Those factors are making it tricky for riding here to continue. The future of access for the public and their right to roam the paths in and around the Mission Bike Trail is facing a challenge right now. This area, one of the few places people can use to ride dirt trails in the valley.
So we want to make sure that we maintain what we have. We have continued access to those trails.
It's something to fight for some of the riders that come here. Now these signs are popping up. David Hernandez, who heads the Valley Off-Road Bicycling Association, is trying to work a delicate balance between people's freedom to ride and liabilities for landowners.
A lot of times that can result in negative things happening, accidents.
The city of Mission is now facing a lawsuit in district court. Last October, a rider claimed he was seriously injured going over a defective wooden ramp. He's suing the city for $1 million. More recently, riders started noticing these no trespassing signs marking the entrances to well-worn paths. The construction on these signs fairly new. This trail right here, I'd be in trouble if I went down it. They just installed that new sign. These trails run for miles. What's happening here? The paths that people consider to be the Mission bike trails aren't entirely on public property. The trails are not just owned by the city of Mission. There's a major private property owner who owns most of the property that people are riding on. That private land is owned by Nevada's Investment Family Limited Partnership, according to county records. Hernandez says the owner for years tolerated people riding here. The city tells us it recently put up those no trespassing signs because the old ones that were there had worn down. The Bike Association is asking riders to be mindful of any private land.
For somebody to build a ramp on private property, we often tell people, expect that structure to be torn down because that landowner has every right. That's their land. And you constructing a feature like that can be a liability for them because it's going to be tempting for somebody to want to jump it or ride over it. And that's where injuries happen.
He says the association keeps doing what it can to maintain trails and build safety signs for an outdoor asset in limited supply in the valley.
Areas like this that promote people to come outdoors, exercise, be active, it's so important. We fight for green space like this all the time.
He says they'll keep educating riders to keep them safe, and they hope the city and surrounding landowners help them continue keeping these trails accessible. Christian Von Pricing, Channel 5 News.